Hi everyone, I'm Joanna Hogerman. I'm your student's honors biology teacher this year. I just wanted to start off by saying I'm so sorry that I can't make it to back to school night this year, but please feel free to contact me via email or through a counselor at school if you do want to meet with me in person still. This YouTube video hopefully will give you the same information though that I would be able to provide you at back to school night. A little bit about me. I've been teaching biology for 7 years and honors biology most of that time. I've also taught AP biology. So when I build my honors course for the year, I look back on what the students will need for AP biology as well, so that I can build a course that not only gives them what they need to know now, but helps prepare them for what they will need to know in the future. Just briefly, I'd like to show you a tour of the classroom. If you were to come to back to school night, this is what you would see. You would see a whiteboard. You'd actually probably see a projector pulled down, and it would have a list of instructions. Usually when students walk in the classroom, even before the bell rings, there's instructions for what they should be completing. Maybe turning in an assignment here, grabbing a worksheet from a pile here, gluing something into their notebook here, etc. I keep their tutoring hours listed here as well in case they ever decide they want to come to tutoring. More stuff at the front of the room. This is where I keep their agenda and objectives for the day. I update their list of homework every single day, so it's advised that they have a planner that they write down their homework in, and that will help them time manage. This is the door that they enter through and that you would have entered through had this happened on back to school night. This is the counter space we use for labs. We have 3 sinks on this side of the room, and we use these for wet labs and for microscope labs during first semester. You can see the student desks here for when we do notes, but I also have a great amount of work tables in the back for when we do group work. I value communication and collaboration in groups, and so with labs and big projects we do, I encourage students to sit back here and work with their partners on those activities. I keep extra supplies in the back here and extra work in case students were absent. I post student work regularly, so these are all about me posters that students did the first week of school. I have 2 sets of Chromebook carts, one here and one on the other side, and these Chromebook carts are useful for any sort of electronic activities or assignments I post. So on Google Classroom, students can access their Chromebook or access that on their Chromebooks, and each student is assigned their own Chromebook. They can access virtual labs, virtual videos, and they can build their own projects. We do a lot of projects in honors biology, and I do expect that there's electronic components to each of them, so they can use the Chromebooks to record audio, record video, and build really amazing presentations that have to do with the units that we learn about this year. Then if we move over here, we have more counter space with more sinks and more student desks, and my teacher desk is up at the front, and that's what you would see if this was back to school night. So I'll try to go through these slides quickly, but just show you some of the main points. It's very important your students get to class on time, and I have not had an issue with that with my honor students yet, but I hope it stays that way. I am a bell-to-bell teacher, so at the very start of class, if not before, they're already getting instructions, students are already turning in work, and if they're late, they're missing valuable opportunities to know what they're supposed to turn in, and that could hurt their grade. So make sure that your students come to class on time. Following instructions is very important, especially with labs. It's a safety thing, so I know that they all read and follow instructions. We'll just keep it that way. A couple really important ones down here, asking for help. I have plenty of tutoring hours for students, and they have access to Loop Mail, so they can message me if they forget to ask me something in class. But keeping on top of their schedule is very, very important because we have such a fast-paced and rigorous schedule that we follow for honors biology. If they miss something or if they need something, they really need to make sure that they ask me for help. Additionally, participation is key in this course. I firmly believe that when students communicate with each other and participate in group discussions and class discussions, it helps them solidify the material in their brain better, and therefore just staying awake in class is not enough. Additionally, I do have some ways that you as a parent could help your student succeed. First of all, I love when parents communicate with me. They follow up with me on how their students are doing, but I also encourage you to help your students check on what they need for themselves and start advocating for themselves. If they know that they turned in an assignment but it's not showing up in the grade book, or they just need help, help your students start asking for those things themselves to build more independent students. If you haven't signed up for a Loop Mail account or a School Loop account, please make sure that you do sign up for one as soon as possible. When I update grades weekly, or when I want to send out messages about, hey, your student hasn't been turning in this work, or hey, your student's doing really great with this, I want to be able to communicate with you through School Loop. I do offer tutoring regularly, so if helping your students study is challenging because you don't understand something yourself, or maybe you're out a lot and don't have a lot of time, making sure that they can get to school to get tutoring from me is really, really important. And I value tutoring time with my students, so anytime you can get them to tutoring is fantastic. Taking school seriously, I know these students are in honors courses because they have a goal to go on to higher education after high school, but keeping that mindset with them that, hey, school's very important. You need biology to graduate. Take it seriously. It will help them think of it as a very important component to their lives as well. And once again, I appreciate all communication that I can have with you. If you ever have a question about why your student's grade looks the way it does, or you ever have a question or concern about your student's behavior in the class, please let me know. But also, please feel free to contact me if you have any sort of connection, either through your career or otherwise, that you find might enrich your students' honors biology experience. If you have connections to biology-related field trips or presentations that could happen in the classroom, let me know. I'd love to find ways that we can enrich our honors biology students' experience this year. So the grading in this class is weighted, 20% for homework, and then an even amount for labs and quizzes, tests, all of that. And that's because the homework is mostly practice, and all of the labs, projects, tests, and quizzes assess how much they learned in class and through their practice. So I do weight those two categories very heavily. It's a standard grade scale. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, and so on. So it should be very easy to keep track of. And all of these grades are posted on School Loop regularly. I don't usually have a problem with cell phones, but I do allow them to be used as tools for biology class. So we can use them as calculators, we can use them as timers in labs, and students love to be able to take pictures and record video of some of their labs happening. I'm totally cool with that. I really discourage cell phone use in class, though, during notes and labs and group work, because they can be gigantic distractions. But otherwise, if they're using them for learning purposes, I'm very okay with them having cell phones. You can expect that there will be homework nightly. I tend to give multiple days for some assignments because they are pretty hefty, but that means students should be working on a little bit each night to try to keep up with the workload. I do accept late work because it is such a fast-paced, rigorous class, and these freshmen are still trying to get used to high school, but they'll only receive up to 70% credit for that. If students need help, they can come to me before school, 7:30 to 8 a.m. every day, first lunch every day, or 3 to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. I offer help with homework, with just catching up, or if students really just need a place to work, that's what tutoring time is for. They can also do test corrections at this time. I believe in mastery learning, so if students fail a test, I want them to be able to come back in and fix their score so that they can learn from their mistakes. And they don't get full points back, but the partial points really do help ensure not only that they pass the class, but that they learn the material better for future biology classes. Please make sure that you check School Loop regularly once again. And if you see zeros, that means that your student hasn't turned in an assignment. So if you go to the biology section here, you click on Progress Report, you can see their grade. You can see how they're doing in each category of their grade. And then if you see a pink box, that means they have zeros that need to be taken care of and turned in with me for late credit. We use Google Classroom for most electronic notes, projects, and assignments. So internet is very important. If internet access is going to be challenging this year, please make sure that your student talks to me so that I can accommodate them. If you'd like to pause this, you can take a look at how to log into your student's Google Classroom if you'd ever like to access it. But now I'm going to show you how you can navigate your student's Google Classroom if you ever want to get on. So there's two major sections to Google Classroom. There's a stream section, which goes in order by when I've posted assignments, and usually it's just for announcements. And then there's a classwork section, which I organize by unit. So we have 3 units we've done so far. We have our course materials section, which was the first day of school. You can always access their syllabus here. We did our scientific method section, and then now we're working on biochemistry. So it shows you when I post these things, and if there's due dates, it gives the due date here. And when students click on these assignments, it shows them a list of instructions that they can use to complete those assignments. So Google Classroom is where we'll keep most all assignments, but their grades will show up on School Loop. Here's a list of supplies that most of your students already have, but if you ever want to donate supplies, I always welcome donations. We'll skip through the biology notebook stuff. For honors biology, we do glue a lot of stuff into our notebook, but I don't collect their notebooks. I check their notebooks daily for the assignments I'm looking for, and then we move on. Once again, you can contact me through Loopmail. Here's my email. I check it multiple times daily, so I can usually get back to you very, very quickly. And just briefly, if you want to hang in there a little bit longer with me, here's what we'll be learning this year. So we're currently in our biochemistry unit where we talk about macromolecules and enzymes. Then we move into a bit bigger of a scope where we look at cell biology and we study a little bit about homeostasis in the body as well. We'll zoom out further and we'll take a look at how cells get energy, and we'll focus on energy both at a cellular and ecological level. We may have time at the end of the semester to start studying DNA, but if not, we'll start off semester 2 studying DNA, moving into inheritance, talking a lot about GMOs and cloning and all the cool stuff going on with genetic engineering these days. We zoom out further to study ecology and evolution, and we end the year with body systems. All of this material will include projects, labs, and notes and homework assignments regularly, and all of this material is part of the AP Biology curriculum as well, which is why we cover it in Honors Biology. That's it for me. If you have any further questions, I've posted my email multiple times throughout this video presentation, so please feel free to contact me. Once again, I'm so sorry I couldn't meet you in person, but I would love to meet with you if you would like to. Just let me know. And I look forward to an amazing year with your students. So, yeah, that's basically it. Have a good one. Bye.